Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pizza. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks, here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. That's the place to catch us live. Join us live Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, and if you can't, because, well, life gets in the way, don't worry about that. Go ahead and just subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB. Watch us video on demand on the YouTube channel. We are very close to 26,000, trying to get to 30,000 this year. I think we can do it. So let's go. Let's hit that subscribe button, because when you do, you might win yourself a Jose Ramirez autographed jersey from pristineauction.com. This jersey's pristine. How do you win it? Subscribe, drop a comment below on this video or any video, the trade video, the waiver wire video, the prospect video, and then ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications, and you could be the big winner of the Jose Ramirez jersey. Welsh, it's great to see you, my friend. I'm sure you're happy to see the Mets leave town after Juan Soto just kept hitting home runs yesterday. One was a moonshot there, 427 dead center. How you doing?
Let me think. Mets do something, and Mets are on the top of the show sheet at
Isn't
all
it
times.
crazy
Mets do
how that
literally
happens?
anything, and they are.
So
It doesn't matter what
crazy.
else happened in the world. Sandy Alcantara could get traded. Shohei Ohtani could be out for the year. Juan Soto hits a homer. They're on here. By the way, Juan Soto does own some property here in Arizona, specifically at Chase Field, because he owns
well, look, in all fairness, Welsh, how old were you the last time the Diamondbacks won a World Series?
I was like 18 or no, yeah, something like that. No, 2001. I don't know my age anymore. I was like 20 something.
What's his age again, everybody? I was 8 the last time the Mets won the World Series. It's been a
But
long time.
This is a
Give me
game in
some
May. I'm just pointing out games in
know,
April
this
and
is
May
fine.
are getting to the show sheet when they do anything.
Well-
I will say the Juan Soto thing is relatively interesting. I don't know if we talked about it on here. Did the Betting Pro show talking about MVP awards and stuff. Something did stand out to me that I didn't talk about on that show was at that time, 25-1 Juan Soto was still sitting there for NL MVP. Now it's the longest of long shots on the planet because you've got Ohtani, you got Corbin Carroll that's pushing up the race, Fernando Tatis Jr. But to count out Juan Soto's overall tracking, I was looking at year-over-year changes of like barrel and hard hit. He's like one of the biggest losers across the board, but to a point that it's so not believable. And because he's such a great player. And guess what? He's heating up. And he's getting multi-homer games, and he's starting to go. And that was my point to that. Yeah.
And that's why it's the top of the show sheet. My point is, guess what? After maybe a couple weeks of a little pressing, Juan Soto starting to get hot. Also looking good, too, because I know we talked about him on the live stream yesterday. Kodai Senga, 6 shutout innings for him. His ERA is down to 1.16. He is the prince that was promised. 35 strikeouts, 17 walks, and 38 innings.
Yeah,
Look,
5
Mets
walks.
didn't really have. Yeah, but look, I'll take the 1 ERA. It's not going to hold. He's going to probably settle somewhere around the low 3s. But the Mets desperately need that guy at the top of their rotation where they feel like, okay, every 5th day we know we're going to be competitive and get a W here, because the rest of the guys are, they're kind of the no-name starter bunch. They're all performing pretty well, but they are no-name guys. So Senga needs to perform at a high level, and hopefully he can stay healthy this year. Devin Williams, possibly moving in the right direction, struck out 3 batters with 1 walk. So another walk, you don't love that, and hit another guy in a scoreless 10th inning, and he got a win over the Padres. So Devin Williams, let's take the temperature, Welsh. What does it say today?
I think it's the same as I've been. Like, I'm a little away from the camp of he's done forever, and like everybody else is cutting him, and don't worry. I mean, like, I think there's a lot of justification where you can, I saw that one, where you can cut him in 10-team leagues and stuff like that. And I think there's a big question, will he get back in the role? But to put him back in like leveragey spots like that, and for him to be successful, have big strikeouts, that's classic old school, or really any manager, I suppose, taking the pressure off of a guy to see how they perform. That's going to be the biggest key. You take him out of this role for a tiny bit, you've taken the pressure off. After 2 weeks, they might just throw him into a random spot. So as much as I've thought May is for Luke Weaver, I just don't think Devin Williams is quite done. Everything is still really poopy across the board, though. He's, not striking out like he does. He's walking guys like crazy, 17% walk rate. But if he starts putting a couple of these together, he's not going to be available on the wire anymore. So that's why, if I could hold, I would. If he's out there, I would pick him up just to see what this next week or so becomes. Because guess what? If you had Devin Williams June on, he's still probably going to be one of the top closers if he
Oh,
returns
I would
to
agree.
form. So that's why I would look at it.
Van Rod with a fun one today. Predictions of how Jack Leiter will do against the Red Sox is what he said. Welsh, any predictions here from Jack Leiter? I'm going to abstain because we got to a Jack Leiter conversation yesterday. Last start for Jack Leiter, not so great. Last two, not so great.
I don't think it's going to be a great day. Shout out, the Boston Red Sox I still think they're monsters. I talk a lot about them in the Betting Pros episode. Shout out to our boy Erickson, who I threw him some bets last night, Joey. And I threw him 3. And then I said, I got a parlay for you. And he took the parlay. And then he texted me and he said, the only bad thing is I didn't bet more because it was Red Sox to win on the full money line and Bregman to get a hit. I'd also given Bregman total bases. All those hit, which was great. But Boston's offense is picking back up. And that's the point of where I'm going with this, that I don't like this matchup. I think this might be an overruns type of thing with Leiter and Bayo going today. But I mean, I would say that it's probably a 4-run game, at least for Leiter. I don't think it's going to be super pretty.
5 runs, 2 homers, says Razor. Good to see Razor in the chat. What's up, Razor? How you doing? All right, let's get to some more closers here. Emmanuel Clase, he's back. Got his 8th save. Scoreless inning against the Nats. So, crisis averted here. Clase, a little hiccup, but we're back on track. Jackson Merrill, 2 for 4 with a solo homer, 2 ribbies. Good day for him. Javier Baez cannot be stopped. He drove in 4 more runs. I've got bets on him today. We'll get to that later in the show.
Wow.
The Tigers pounded the Rockies in this one. His slash is now up to 313, 352, 475. I know we've discussed Javi Baez a little bit, and we talked about him on the waiver video. If you missed that, go back and watch it. It's on demand on the YouTube channel. But
no,
it is not you. You don't have to watch it. You were
no. I don't want to watch it. Whatever you're gonna say, no, Joe, don't do it.
Well, I guess here's the thing. It's, Javier Baez is not going to hit 300 all year. I don't think that's going to happen. But if you are one of these teams that's had some outfield injuries, let's say you lost Alvarez, you lost Teoscar Hernandez, and you're looking at the Outmans and the Evan Carters, gross, or you're looking at Javier Baez, who's hitting and playing at the top of this order, I want Baez, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the video. Like, I had to pick him up in one spot. He's weird and it's goofy. He has dramatically changed his swing. He's dropped the depth in the box. He's shortened his stand, like the open stance thing. It's dramatic. It was like a 33-degree angle. It's like 10 now. So, I mean, he has really shortened that in. He's dropped the length a tiny bit of that swing, and he's seeing some pretty great results. I mean, he's hitting 313. He's got 3 homers. But, I mean, he's cut the strikeouts down, but he's done that for the last 3 or 4 years. But, if you look at it as a whole, he's not barreling. He's hitting the ball actually on average less hard this year. The hard hit rate is down. He's not getting it in the ball, getting it in the air as much. He's a 240 expected batting average guy. That's like 70 points lower. He's a serviceable 15-team 5th outfielder for sure. But you got to have a quick trigger finger if he starts to struggle. I just don't buy. I loved Javier Baez back in the day. That was my guy back when he was a Cub. But yeah, he's going to come back down to earth, and I'm not cutting anything of substance. Like I see his name right here. Someone wrote like Dylan Cruz. Like if someone were to ask that question, like, oh, Dylan Cruz sucks. Like I'm not going to do that in a 10-team league. I don't know why you would consider Baez. Still, I would cut Cruz, but I'm not going to cut Cruz for Baez because I don't believe in it, and I won't believe in it the whole year.
IL. I think that's like I'm thinking like you lost somebody. You're looking for a part-time piece here, right?
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And I agree with your point, which is you're not running to pick him up in lieu of somebody else. You're trying to add him if you've had an injury and you want an easy roster move to make in 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is exactly what I had in a league, and that's why I picked him up.
Yeah, and I think that is the fit for Baez. Lee with a fun one here. Wanted to take Soto on the home run, didn't want to jinx the Mets, so I took Josh Naylor 0 for 4. Hey, I took Alonso yesterday, and that didn't work out, so what are you going to do? I'm stone cold again. Abreu for the Red Sox, 3 for 4, 2 homers and a double, 3 ribbies. So good day for him. Jacob Wilson, 4 for 5. This man can't be stopped. He's hitting 357. I enjoy Jacob Wilson's game. More Jacob Wilsons in baseball. Just guys who put the ball in play. I think that's good for baseball. Who needs walks and strikeouts? Get up there, swing the bat, son. And this is the big question too. I'm not sure what the Savant page says about Jacob Wilson, but sometimes with these contact guys who, don't walk a bunch, is there a danger here that at some point, that expected batting average comes back down? Well, I mean, 357 is very high. I don't think that's a sustainable mark.
Well, it's 327 is his expected batting average right now because he just makes all the contact in the world. 327. He doesn't, but it's you see this with those contact guys like the Luis Arises of the world, where you get these really low barrel rates. They usually have like a slower swing. I'm not looking at his swing right now in a shorter one. Yeah. So this is a 63 mile per hour average bat speed. That's dramatically, it's one of the lowest in the league, but also it's a short swing. So he's slow to it, short to the path, which gets the bat in the in the base path, and he makes tons of contact. He doesn't walk because he makes so much contact as well. So this is pretty prototypical of those type of hitters. You would love it if he could get the ball in the air just like a tiny bit more, simply because that ballpark is just like a little tiny box, and just start crashing out some homers. But Jacob Wilson is a real deal. Jacob Wilson has also held the lead for like 3 weeks on Rookie of the Year. It's him over, and Christian Campbell's hitting like 300. Jacob Wilson has still been the odds-on favorite in the AL, which, if you have a ticket for that, I want to see it. Let me know that, this feels like the Jackson Merrill of last year. I wish I was on it. I'm not. I'm on the Christian Campbell, and I had a Cam Smith ticket, which I can burn. But, I don't know if he can hold on to this unless he hits 330 or 340. It's going to be tough to beat Christian Campbell, but Jacob Wilson is fantasy relevant, even though he's in that Luis Risey, I don't have a lot of counting stats type of territory.
Just want to shout out Calling71, subscriber at tier 1 and gifted 5 subs. It's very cool. Very cool on the Twitch. We love that. We love the community here on our Twitch at FantasyPros MLB.
Cool note too, by the way, is you actually don't even have to be in the chat sometimes. If you're just subscribed to the channel, Thrasher, when you come in and you make your first comment, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It is completely free to just like the channel and subscribe. But if you are just subscribed and someone gifts a sub, you could get it when you're not even here. So just a little reminder, we got a lot of great people that are following us, but just come follow. It's absolutely free, and someone might gift you a sub.
Yeah, Thrasher. And when you subscribe, you get rid of those pesky commercials. Nobody likes those. Yeah. Nobody likes that. So,
except the one that Joe's gonna.
Except only the commercials that I do. Those are acceptable. The A's, they dropped Lawrence Butler to 6th in the order. He homered and walked yesterday. You mentioned Butler. He didn't make our buy low video, but I do agree with you. I think Butler's an intriguing buy low at this point.
Yeah, I have on my Patreon, thisleague.com, cheap plug. I do like this weekly, just like little like preppy sheet. And I just do lots of stuff like prospects and pickups and streamers, and that kind of like flows into what I do during the week. But I do like players I'm trading for and trading away. And I had told you before we did our video, Lawrence Butler was on my trade for the week because he had struggled. Like his counting stats were up there enough that no one's being like, I got to get him out of here. But it was to the level where someone might be like, oh, this isn't actually really working out. 6 homers, 6 stolen bases, 240 average. His expected batting average is lower than his batting average, which is the worrisome part. 11% barrel, 42% hard hit rate. He's getting the ball in the air more. He's getting to that sweet spot on the launch angle, and he's in this incredible ballpark where the summer is just ahead of us. So that's what I'm trying to buy on here. Lots of loud counting stats, and good to see him kind of start that bounce back. But the buying opportunity, I don't know how long it is, but I think I'm going to take the risk with it.
I would take the risk as well. Strikeouts are still a lot, but I just enjoy the player. And if he gets hot again this summer like he did last year, forget it. Like that ballpark is going to be unbelievably good for him. Kyren Paris, signs of life, 2-run homer for him. It's funny. Do you think there's anything to the Kyren Paris emergence and the Kaiser Trex sponsorship in the same year? It feels like too much of a coincidence. I don't want to be a weird conspiracy theory guy, but
because he's not keeping it up. The stats are not staying up, is what I'm saying.
No, although the OPS did rise after yesterday's performance. So, yeah. All right, I got a great stat for you, Welsh. You like great stats? Everybody likes great stats. The New York Yankees have a higher batting average, on base, and slugging percentage than any other team in Major League Baseball this year. Okay, just putting that out there.
Okay.
But if you take away Aaron Judge from their totals, they're 14th in batting average, 11th in OBP, and 3rd in slugging. So that's kind of interesting that when you take that one guy away, the batting average goes all the way down to 14th, and the OBP goes all the way down to 11th. So
I'm not really. That doesn't really surprise me. The guy's like hitting 400. He's the best player. Like he's one of the best players in baseball. I'm a little surprised the slug is still so high. If Aaron Judge wasn't
See,
there.
I'm not surprised the slug is so high because all the Yankees do is hit solo home runs.
Yeah, I suppose
look at
that's
the stat
true.
sheet. There are a bunch of 220 hitters who have solo home runs. They've got 8 home runs and 10 RBI. Like that's what they look like, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so fascinating because I don't think when you take one player away, it should impact anything that much. It's one player out of 15 or whatever you've got there that are offensive players on your roster. Give or
That's
take.
why he's minus 1,000 for AL MVP
crazy.
right now. It's
just
like absurd.
Crazy statistic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just wanted to share that.
That's
the
a cool
Orioles can't do anything right. The Orioles have made a deal. They acquired Luis Castillo from the Mariners, but not that Luis Castillo, not the good one, Luis F. Castillo. So I feel like this is like classic Norm Macdonald. It's like, oh, we just made a deal. Wow, hey, what do you get? Oh, Luis Castillo. Oh, from the Mariners. Oh, he's
Wait a
really
minute.
great.
There's an F in his middle name. We did get that. That happened.
Oh, we got the wrong one.
This reminds me. This
Kobe
reminds me
Mayo?
of all those people in like best balls and like the NFBCs that they're like, oh my God, I got a great value on Julio Rodriguez, but it was like the catcher Julio R. Rodriguez or whatever. Very, very funny.
Just the worst. Oh, geez. Oh, there's mud on my face there. Oh,
there are rumors. There are rumors that, by the way, the Orioles, I saw it last night on MLB Scoops Twitter or whatever, that they're looking at Mitch Keller, that they're talking to the Pirates, or there's some rumors about Mitch Keller and the Orioles, just what the Orioles need.
You know what? Whatever. Mitch Keller for Kobe Mayo, do it. Just let everybody get out of their own space.
Kobe Mayo? No.
Well,
you're not getting. He
hasn't hit. He hasn't done anything. He's 0 for 8 and 5 strikeouts in 3 games right now. I don't know where that stock is right now, and he's a complainer, and the organization doesn't like him. Michael has a great one here. We have Luis Castillo at home. Yes, that's right. You don't need that. We have Luis Castillo at home. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's get to the rookies. Speaking of Kobe Mayo's 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts in 3 games so far this year, Gunnar Hoglund made his second major league start, 2 runs, 5 1/3 innings. It was pretty good. The second run came in the 6th, though. Hoglund was pulled, so it was given up afterwards. But still, only 5 of the 18 balls in play against him were hard hit. I think he's going to have another start. Now, next week, the start is against the Dodgers. That's the only thing. So just, keep that in mind. Maybe not the best time to run him out there, but maybe being new is exactly, the thing that could beat the Dodgers.
2% walk rate. 2% walk rate. 2.5 ERA with an expected 2.5 ERA right now. Gunnar is pretty interesting, but avoid at all costs that Dodger matchup, please.
Yeah, Dodgers first team to 25 wins. Bubba Chandler allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 1/3 innings. So, Bubba watch. What do you think? Well,
yeah, we had got this info during the live stream yesterday. Remember, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, Joey and I are live for an hour, and that had happened. It puts a little bit of wrinkle into Bubba watch because a lot of walks. He gave up a decent amount of hits. He didn't go deep into the game. I think like 2 days ago, we knew that Bubba wasn't coming up within the next couple of days because they're going to give us a little bit of ramp up. I think you could look at this either way. There's a possibility that they could say, doesn't results be damned, whatever. And maybe Friday or Saturday, they tell us that Bubba's coming up. Also, don't let him get into a bad streak down in the minors. Or they could say, we need one more good one. We need to see how you bounce back. So like, if you guys are going to keep asking me the same question, I still feel regardless of this bad outing, I still feel like Monday, Tuesday, whatever the order is, that's when he should be up. But it could be the next start after. The next start after would probably closer line up to what they've done in the past with like Skeens, Jared Jones. So we're still close. Wasn't the best start there. I'm not going to let it deter me or anything like that. And I think he should still hold because we're still in a very, very close period of time where he's called up. But that one, if he had like dazzled in that, I'll bet you they're dropping a freaking press release today that they're like, Bubba's going to be here Monday.
So I don't know. I think it's up in the air. I got to be honest. I'm not confident that it's going to be Monday.
I'm not confident either.
As a question, Javier Baez or Kobe Mayo rest of season? I'll take Baez. For better or worse. I'm not trying to be prisoner of the moment here, but Kobe Mayo has not delivered in opportunities he's getting, and even if he gets dealt, I don't know.
I mean,
at least say like I'm bashing him. Like I'm not bashing him, but like, and at some point he has got to perform to a degree And it's not over, 3 games or whatever that is. But at some point, even in the minor leagues, he's got to perform to a degree where he becomes undeniable in order to crack whatever's going on here in Baltimore. Because before you know it, Westberg will be back. Before you know it, these opportunities will be gone again. So he's in a really difficult spot, which is why I want him. I will like him a lot more if he gets traded to the Pirates or to gets traded to somewhere else, anywhere
Well,
else.
yeah, anywhere for playing time. I would say this,
Yeah.
like, I think it makes sense to say Baez right now because I'm not sure like what you get out of like holding him, but like July 1st on, I'll bet you like Kobe is starting like somewhere. He's not going to spend another season in the minor leagues. Maybe he's traded, whatever. And I think he'll be more valuable than Baez. So I guess maybe the long outlook, but why would you hold on to him for 2 months? So it's like go with Javi Baez right now and just keep a watch on Kobe Mayo.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's get to Andrew Painter. He's going to make a start on Thursday for AAA, so that'll be fun to see. 3 up and 3 down from yesterday's games. Max Fried, still good. 5 hits, just 1 run, no walks, 8 Ks. Brilliant performance against Michael Callie's Padres, who were red hot. That went into the Yankees' Bronx cauldron there, and they came out scolding hot. Jose Berrios struck out 9 over 6 innings against the Angels, so let's not get too crazy. It was against the Angels. Then Ryan McMahon, who had one of the worst Aprils ever with a OPS around 500. He's been hot lately. He had a home run over the weekend, 4 for 4 with a 2-run homer against the Tigers, so that's good. Not good in that game. Chase Dollander, 6 runs, 3 innings in the downs. Jackson Jobe, also bad. 6 runs, 3 2/3. He has not been good this year. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets bumped from this rotation at some point. And then Shane Baz. This one I think is the toughest one. Shane Baz was on a really good run. End of last year, beginning of this year. What has happened here? 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 1/3. I know it's the Phillies, and the Phillies are very good, but Welsh, what's going on here with Shane Baz? Welsh, I can't hear you. Something happened with your audio there for a second. You gotta play
how about that?
Record a little bit. Yeah.
How about that? Oh, I pushed something there.
Sometimes you gotta play record a little bit.
Yeah,
Make sure everybody can hear you.
It was the curse. It was the dynasty rank curse where somebody tried to call me out on my Shane Baz dynasty rank, and it coincided literally the day where he gave up 7 earned runs. And since then, he has given up 13 runs. So you're going to have to sacrifice a goat if you would like Shane Baz to be any better because the curse remains. But I don't know if I would like go too crazy worry, but I thought there was inconsistencies in his game. He's still walking a lot. He's giving up a lot of barreled contact. He's a good young pitcher, but the team context I don't think is like the best. He's not doing elite strikeouts, and he is getting a little bit obliterated right now. But, like maybe to your point, the last 4 starts, to his credit, he's had Yankees, Padres, Royals, and Phillies. That's a really rough run right there. And in that period of time, he has given up 18 runs across those 3 starts. The only good one was against the Padres. So like, not ready to anoint him elite, but I'm also not ready to start cutting him because he's getting banged around by the Phillies and the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best point. I guess is the matchups here. But, at a certain point, you got to step up against the better teams, too. Otherwise, you're not a major league pitcher. You got to step up against the better offenses at some point here. We don't have a new Pope yet. I know they just started up again.
Our chat's been going nuts about it.
You got to watch Nick Castellanos very clearly today. See what's going on here. Speaking of the Phillies. Also, while you're at it, you might as well download My Playbook, manage all your fantasy baseball lineups, and dominate your leagues with My Playbook from FantasyPros. It's the most powerful suite of tools in the fantasy landscape to help you make better decisions, manage your lineups, and win your leagues. Import your team to get custom fantasy baseball news, rankings, and analysis. Sync your leagues today at fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook and download the Fantasy Baseball My Playbook app. All right, let's get to injuries. Everybody's panicked because Hunter Greene heard a pop in his groin. Ugh, no good. He's going for an MRI today. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a mild issue, but that's not good. The saving grace is not an arm issue. But this is so frustrating, Welsh. Hunter Greene has been brilliant this year. He has been finally the pitcher that we've been waiting for years and years that he would become a frontline starter. We know the fastball's always been live. It's been location of the fastball. He has made so many good adjustments. So this is a huge bummer right now.
Yeah, he's turned a completely different corner. And it's actually been a 2-year time period, too. It was or maybe even 3 because he had to go from being a primary slider guy, and then he dropped his velo a bit, and then he added the split finger. And then this year the velo's kind of come back and everything has clicked, and he's got these 3 pitches that he's just dropping on everybody. The split finger has been just a phenomenal pitch. His slider's become more efficient. His slider, a .89 batting average against and a 53% whiff rate. And that's what the split finger and the fastball are just doing, just from an eye visual. So he's definitely been elite. This is worrisome. Pops and groins doesn't sound great at all, but hopefully that's going to be something we're going to bounce back from.
Pops and groins. Is that like boats and hose? What is that?
Pops and groins. Pops and groins.
Apparently,
the Nina, the Pinta. That's all right. Sorry.
Do we have a new pope or are we not? I saw
the word in the chat streets is we do have a new pope, but it is not
the white smoke. We don't know who it is. We know it's not Pizza Balla.
Yeah, it's not a Pizza Balla.
All right, all the money tonight on Nick Castellanos. That's whatever it takes.
He usually follows disaster though, not like positive world events.
It's just, I thought it was just world events. No,
I mean, maybe listen, it's not a bad bet to bet on Nick Castellanos Sunday if we're being honest, but I think it is more like worldly.
Well, I know. Let's see who the Pope is.
Hunter Greene did have a pop in his groin, so that is a bad event. So you might want to bet on Nick Castellanos even more.
That's true. It is kind of interesting too, because you talk about like what's going on here with all of these processes. I love that it's 2025 and the process for this is still, we have to wait for somebody to blow a different colored smoke out of a smokestack.
I don't know how it works. I mean, don't they know what the color is, or is there like,
well, when it's white, it's a pope. When it's black, they got to vote again.
Yeah, but but is this treated like a gender reveal? Like they're like, oh look, it's
kind of, you know what? I never thought it's kind of like it's the Catholic version of that in a lot of ways.
Okay, like so nobody knows. They're
Catholic
just like,
myself,
let's see.
But I think that's amazing in 2025. No press release, no Twitter, smoke.
I think what they should do is they should drop the new reveal on a TikTok, and a plane should fly over and it'll just drop the smoke, and they should just do like a full gender reveal for it.
Yeah, there you go. The Reds also had to put Noelvi Marte on the IL because he got a left oblique strain. Ugh. Dylan Cease, again, what everything that was going well for the Reds, it feels like 24 hours. Like, oh God, why? Why do they have these things happen? Dylan Cease was removed Wednesday. He had a right forearm cramp. Now, the good news is strikeouts were way up last night for Cease. And we were talking about him as a buy low. It says it was just a cramp, so I'm not going to think too much of this, Welsh. We'll see if there's any other news that breaks today. It's something to monitor, but I would still be buying Dylan Cease because the window to buy aces is usually very small. You have one here with Cease. All the underlying metrics are good. The walk rate's just high. Hopefully he'll get it back under control like he did last year. Yeah,
and something, this just reminded me of, this is super funny because it's a cramp. Merrill Kelly suffers from just like, he cramps up in like every single start. So apparently Diamondback fans have been sending in mass pickles to the Diamondbacks facility for Merrill Kelly to eat so he stops cramping up. And maybe they should send some pickles to Dylan Cease. Maybe they should really, if Big Pickle, whichever, I don't eat pickles. I think they're disgusting, but Big Pickle should look at a sponsorship with MLB, and they should start sending out to guys like Dylan Cease and Merrill Kelly. Just saying. Okay. Opportunity.
Let's get to more injuries. Spencer Strider hamstring through a bullpen on Wednesday, so hopefully that's moving in the right direction. Teoscar Hernandez expected back in 2 weeks. Romy Gonzalez day-to-day with back tightness. Here we go. Somebody mentioned to me, I think it was on the YouTube comments yesterday I saw. Yeah. Somebody said maybe move Trevor Story to first. How would you feel about that move?
I like that. I like that a lot. That opens up Marcelo Mayer. Then maybe that kind of mitigates some of the potential injury risk. But here's the problem. There's like 7 different great options, and they're like, nope, Romy and Abraham Toro. Like, it's not great. What we want. It's not great at all.
Richard Fitz, otherwise known as Dick Fitz, is scheduled to throw a bullpen session on Thursday. He is coming back from that pectoral muscle. Ivan Herrera, 2 for 6 and 2 steals, which was great to see in his rehab game yesterday. JT Realmuto was removed with a left foot contusion. Zach Eflin is going to be back this weekend to start against the Angels. So there you go. Got Charlie Morton that rotation back. Zach Eflin, what could go wrong? Corbin Burns threw a bullpen session Wednesday. No issues with the shoulder. That's good. Glasnow and Snell both are going to play catch tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes over the weekend. Have a catch. I'm sorry. They're going to play catch? Have a catch. They're going to do this again. Clayton Kershaw makes his next rehab start on Sunday. So we'll see if that's the final one for him before heading back to the Dodger rotation. Welsh, it's that time again. It's time for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. Let's take a look at what we got here. And today, I'm keeping it simple. Detroit and Colorado, I'm going right back there. A lot of runs yesterday. I think there might be even more today. Give me Riley Greene to drive in a run plus 100. Give me Javier Baez to score a run at the top of that order at minus 115 because he's been hot. And
Wow.
give me the Detroit team total at over 5.5 runs at minus 132. Now, I haven't put them all together, but I can to see what the parlay is just for S's and G's. Welsh, while I'm doing that, for the boys and girls out there, why don't you give everyone your bets for today?
All right, this Thursday we are going with Nerfy Ganza. We are going all Nerfies
favorite
today.
of all the Ganzas. This is the best one.
We went all first fives yesterday. We went 2-1. We almost got the third one too. When the Mets scored in the sixth, but we actually pushed. We went 2-0-1 because we pushed on one, we won the other. So today we're going to move it to Nerfy Ganza. We're going to start with Atlanta and Cincinnati on the Nerfy minus 130. We're going to go to Toronto, LA on the Nerfy, and Dodgers and Arizona with much higher odds. On the Toronto Los Angeles one really kind of has me interested. Chris Bassett has been really, really good. You've also got Jose Soriano there. Both of these teams are in the bottom 15 of the league in scoring in the first inning. You don't have Trout in there as well. I think the little bit of a risk is Soriano at the top of the Toronto lineup, but Toronto is down there. I think actually the Angels might be a higher scoring first inning team. So that's probably my favorite in there. Dodger Diamondbacks, a little bit risky, a lot risky. On Brandon Pfaadt's side, Brandon Pfaadt struggles versus lefties. You got Ohtani right at the top of the lineup, but I think that we're going to get through that first inning clean with Pfaadt, and Yamamoto has been absolutely unhittable. So I think he's going to take it to the Diamondbacks early part of the lineup. So that one, there's inherent risk involved in Atlanta, Cincinnati as well. You've got Schwellenbach going today and Nick Lodolo, but I think both of those are going to mitigate some contact. So it's Nerfy Ganza. Toronto, LA, probably my favorite, though.
And just to be clear, my Rockies bets are for game 2 because I know there's 2 games today, and someone was asking about that. I'm going for game 2. Riley Greene's not in the lineup. I know that, but we also don't like to do bets here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because we do the show at 12. So typically we try to do stuff for the later in the day.
All my Nerfies are later, too, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
And if you put them all together, by the way, for me, it's 3-1 on mine. And if you change out Riley Greene to hit a home run instead, you get 8.5-1. So I like that. So those are the best bets of the day. Don't forget, when you're betting, use the Betting Pros free trial right now for the best tools on the planet. Download the Betting Pros app, use the promo code Leading Off, and you'll have access to the best betting tools, the premium ones, the prop bet cheat sheet, the Betting Pro systems, the same game parlay builder, Sharp AI, so much more. And of course, go to fantasypros.com/leading off. New customers place their first bet. You win at $5, you get $250 in bonus bets only at FanDuel at fantasypros.com/leading off. And I am going with Riley Greene for my home run call today. That's where I'm going. The Welsh is at 13. Wonky Penguin at 12. Marty's at 17. I wish I had Juan Soto yesterday. Instead, I had the wrong bet again. Very frustrating. So Riley Greene's my guy today. Of course, the Sosa jersey's up for grabs. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call?
Yep, got to get up that board a little bit more. Got to keep rocking. Didn't get Kerry Carpenter yesterday, but today we are going to move over, and hopefully this will not be in the beginning of the inning. And by the way, we can go back to us off the home run board. We can go to Freddie Freeman. So I don't think this is going to happen in the beginning of the game, but I think Freddie Freeman's going to. Brandon Pfaadt does have a home run issue, which does, again, that makes it a concern. There's a reason that Nerfy is minus 105, and it's literally about Brandon Pfaadt, I think. But I think Pfaadt a little bit later in the game is going to give one up to a lefty. Ohtani would be a good bet, but I'm going to go with Freeman. Makes a ton of contact. I think Pfaadt's going to leave one out there. It's around 4.5-1. If you want to do it over on FanDuel, if you want to play that, or you can look at the total base number, which is probably going to be decent. It might be even money or a little bit over on the plus money for total bases on Freddie Freeman.
I apologize. I thought I saw that in the early lineup or in the lineup yesterday, that Baez was actually towards the top. He's hitting 7 or 9.
Yeah, he's usually always around that spot because at the top, it's like Riley, Kerry Carpenter.
I saw him up at 1. I was like, oh, they moved him up. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe that was just a one-off. I apologize for that. So that's on me. I could have sworn I saw it. Maybe when I was looking at MLB, they had it logged differently as opposed to the lineup. They were just showing you the opposing guys there, and I mistook it for a lineup. So that's on me. Apologies. Don't want to get that. Doesn't matter. I still like Javier Baez to score a run today because he's been red hot. And they should move him up.
Clip that, by the way. Clip that of you saying, I like Javier Baez. That never will we say that
he's
again.
Hot right now. Baseball is a game of streaks. And thank you for quickly forgiving me. See, there is forgiveness here. So there you go. It's hard to keep track of everything all the time, all at once. But we do our best here at Fantasy Pros MLB. And Of course, we'll be doing it again tomorrow, yet again. So join us on our Twitch. Join us over at Fantasy Pros MLB on the YouTube channel. And of course, check out all of our latest videos here for the waiver wire, for the trades, and everything in between. Bubble Watch continues. What will happen next week? Who knows? But I know it's all going to go down here. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Oh, geez, I thought I was getting Aaron Judge, and I got Arson Judge. Oh, boy, is my face red. Oh,
it's a good one.
What a giant mistake I made. He's not a player at all. Oh, geez.